Me, Dom. These are some of the things I'm doing at 21 to really improve my finances, just financially get ahead or whatnot. All right, let's get directly to it. Maybe you can take some inspiration from me. I don't know. I don't really care. It's your life. But here we go. Saving. I'm paying myself first. I'm putting into my 401ks, Roth. We don't do no traditional. In my opinion, there's no point in doing traditional because that's pre-tax. You're gonna take that money out at like 59 and a half and it's gonna get taxed. So you're basically gonna get effed, right? I don't know. And you gotta be in a higher tax bracket. For traditional, it really only works with higher tax brackets with people who are high income earners because they might be like less in a tax bracket later on, but for the most part, my income will probably increase, especially if you're super young. Just put everything in Roth. I'm not everything. Like I used to think, okay, let me put some here, let me put some here. No, I was completely wrong. Do Roth. Roth is an absolute cheat code. That's why they limit it so much, especially the Roth IRA. I'm investing, just broad index funds. Like it's so simple, and then just don't even worry about whatever the market is doing. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Just look into index funds. That's it. It's that simple. ETFs just that track the U.S. Economy, top large U.S. economy. It's that simple, and you can just look at the expense ratios and just look at the life of the fund and what it's done every single year. It's a personal finance. It depends on your timeline. I'm 21, I have a long timeline, so I can be more volatile or I can be more risky, even though I don't really, it just depends on you. You really got to know yourself. Reading, I think a lot of the reasons why we waste and spend so much money is just because we want to get a sense of dopamine hit. We want to get a sense of like, we're human, we're hardwired for short-term just survival. So reading, just like basically I'm reading a lot of personal financial literacy books, and it's just time wasting. On my little couple 2 days off or whatever at night, I just read, or like I'm already so busy, you know what I mean? So just time waste, just time waste, so you don't spend money, so I don't swipe that card, so I don't just freaking, that's literally like, I just time waste. Like to me, that's what I do, and it also just improves me cognitively. 3, delayed gratification. This money wealth building is delayed gratification. You got to look for that big, beautiful tomorrow. What does that say? Time plan. I don't even know what I put. I can't read my own handwriting. But that's all. Like wealth building is delayed gratification. How much can you save and invest for the future so you can get to that point, right? And that takes a really long time. It takes a really long time, but it's possible for anyone and everyone in this world to get to it. It is. It absolutely is. Spend only on things that matter. So in the past year, I went on a cool little spending spree. I already told you if you've been following. Little 40K spending spree. Probably a little bit more than that in like 9 months. But money can always come back. But now I've completely learned to detach from consumption. I only spend on things that matter, like meals, like with my mom, or like with family, or experiences, cognitive things that stick with me in my head that I can remember for a lifetime. Not things like a dumb car, not things like more technology or just stuff of that nature, because that depreciates. My mindset is an investor mindset. Those things, everything depreciates, but the memories that stick in my mind, ooh, I'm a little philosopher, ain't I? That stick in my mind, like experiences or meals, those moments, those will stick with me. That's more important to me, in my opinion. And yeah, no consumption. I'm talking no consumption, man. I don't buy nothing of like anything. Maybe I take it to the extreme, but that's just me. I might be crazy. I really don't care about what you think, but no consumption, no new clothes, no new technology, because I understand I got the biggest thing of it all, which is my dream car. I found it was hollow and empty, and I pride in it a lot, and found it that it was useless, it was depreciating, and it was actually the worst thing I could ever get. This is how poor and middle class people stay poor and where they're at, because you buy, or we think that's what is like nice or whatever. If you think you like that's cool, that's you know what I mean? But this is my opinion. You know what I mean? I was able to find this out at 21, and like legit, it's absolutely a cheat code. I paid a small tuition fee to detach from every single materialistic thing in this world. And that's going to allow me to build so much wealth. It's crazy. It's such a cheat code, I think. Okay. I listened to pod number 6. I listened to podcast, like financial stuff. Like, if you know the Money Guy show, look them up. Dave Ramsey, and like the FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early movement. These are basically just things that all deal with finances and things of that nature that really help. Like Dave Ramsey, there's so many stories on that freaking show where people just go through it. These are actual real life people where they got hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. You know, they go bankrupt. It's terrible. 70-year-old people with no retirement funds, 50 year, like, so insane. It blows my mind. It saddens me. It saddens me so much that the world is this way. It saddens me so much that people can't think of the future for themselves. It saddens me so much, and that's scary. That, like, you can look up all the statistics of just so much. 50-60% of Americans don't even got $1,000 to cover $1,000 emergency fund. 100,000 six income figure earners, still like 50-40% of them live check to check. These statistics are wild. It's absolutely wild to me, because I'm like, is everyone doing it? Because I'm like, I've been able to save good. I'm a natural saver. It's easy for me. It's just always been engraved in me. And no one's like that. I'm like, bro, these people, what are they doing? And I was in that position. I was like, I could afford it. I'm chilling. But when you look at the actual amount, man, it's not that. It doesn't allow you to build more margin. It's scary stuff. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, and they help me learning wisdom. 7, budget. I track my expenses. I'm super aware of my money. I'm playing offense and defense with the system. All right. If you're being lazy and just not looking at what your money, it's just going. It's going away. It's freaking just vanishing. It's just vanishing. And I can understand why it vanishes, because maybe your work isn't super high. I do excruciating blue collar work. I work, these dollars, back breaking, super cold, my hands are freezing, warehouse work. It's not fun. It's not fun because, and I'm not complaining. Hey, this is the type of job I chose, and it's just the highest type of paid work for someone who doesn't really I'm very young, so I can do this. Like, it's grueling, but it's really, you can make a lot of money. But this money, it means more to me because I'm actually working really, really hard for it. Blue collar work. These people, a lot of blue collar people that use their hands and body and back, I feel like they don't get paid enough. Mechanics, they don't, because, man, they're putting their life force. That money is literally my life force. But if you're like white collar, like tech industry, like computer desk job, you're making over 6 figures, I can understand why you blow your money. Like, it's not that hard. Like, you're doing something like pretty easily. You're very highly intelligent. Comparison is the thief of joy. And it's just like, you're comfortable. You get used to that. I can understand why people get used. We're just human. That's human nature. You get used to stuff. But I track my expenses. I'm playing offense and defense. I used to only just play defense against the system by just looking at my e-statements and just looking at how much I'm bringing in and then how much I'm spending. But I wasn't actually tracking anything or having a budget or how much I want to spend for this month. So now I'm more hyper aware. And once you're conscious of where your money is going, you can never go back. You can never look at money the same. You can never just want to just spend money endlessly ever again. I can't ever do that again because of how much I lost and the emotion behind it. consistency and discipline, just these days are clapping. They're going so freaking quickly, and over time, it's gonna combobulate to more and more and more. It, I don't know if I want to call it discipline. Now it's actually true discipline because I'm more aware, but it's more like this has just been engraved into me. And now it's just like, it's not really discipline because it's just like, that's just who I am. This is just a part of my core identity. And then we'll end it on a proverb 13:11. Wealth gained, I remember it from my head. Wealth gained hastily will dwindle. But those who gather little by little will increase. This is just literally what it is, you know what I mean? Those lottery winners, freaking even high income doctors, lawyer, like all these high income people, yes, they worked hard to get it, but once they get that fixed or that big salary jump, 300,000, 100,000, 200,000, 500,000, freaking super high money, their lifestyle goes completely up. That is a form, I think, of wealth gained hastily, because that salary jump just skyrockets and they just start spending. They get that new car, they put that down payment on that new house, they get into more debt without even knowing it. You got to understand, what we look at the facts of like, how is a 6-figure income earner living check to check? What do they have to do? Bro, you got to understand their consciousness. It's all about behavior. That's all money is. Once you're just unaware and you just get fixed to a lifestyle, you can never go back. And it's scary. And the only thing that breaks you is something traumatic, or like Dave Ramsey said, when you tired of being tired. When every day feels the same, when every day, that's the only point. It's scary, and this is what knocked me loose in my soul, because the amount of spending, because the amount of pain and emotional turmoil, I was able to feel. You got to feel something as a human to completely change. And a lot of people don't change, and they just cover it up. I went into the isolation. I went to the separation. I went into praying. I went and I learned about investing. If I would have learned about investing when I was 18, building up my money, I probably would have never been in this situation to begin with. But I started at 21 and a half, not even and a half, but 21, really, really younger than other people. I'm only able to do that because I'm out of debt completely. You shouldn't do it if you're in debt at all, to be honest, because it's like a really long timeline. But that's what happens. Those people, and it's crazy. And these people probably never seen such a high amount of money in their life, because maybe they come from nothing, or maybe they do, or they think spending a lot is normal. It's not normal at all. So their money just goes away, and they can never become millionaires, or they can never become financially free. They can never own their life. And so how I think of money and how I think of like stuff is, I want to own my life. I want to own my time. I want to own, I just want to not be trapped or be in a toxic environment. Like, you know what I mean? That's my vision. That's my dream. You got to have a plan and why. I have a why. I have a reason. I'm not just building up money just because I want to buy stupid consumption things. No, I'm building up to own my life, because I only have one life. And why would I want any person, any job in this world to own me? I'm probably still gonna be like a W-2 earner and be like, but I'm gonna be able to go wherever I want or do whatever I want, you know what I mean? But I still like security or whatever, because you need to work. No matter what, you need to work. If you just retire early, you're gonna get bored so freaking quickly. It's so true. So like, I'm gonna always, I think, be working. It's good for you. You need to work. You need to be doing something to just not feel so hollow. That's how you get depressed. You can't just hang out with your friends all day. You can't just hang out with your parents all day. You can't just do those things. You have to be working on something, creating, working, contributing to something, because that's what makes humans more fulfilled, is that we work for like 80, 70, probably, I don't know how much percentage of our lives right after we graduate high school, that's it. And it's just, how do you want your life to look and how do you want your life to be? And you just got to start thinking of this. And I'm already thinking of that at 21. That's why I'm saying that lesson, that spending spree, is worth it. Because I'm clearing up so much margin right now. It's freaking crazy. It's freaking crazy. And you don't see that because I had this one car and I only had like 3,000 left on it. And I could have paid it off like years ago. But I had this scarcity mindset. Money, I unconsciously, subconsciously, I thought I would have still had car payments if I just paid it off. I didn't know. And the lump sum of money, like the $3,000, feels like it's a lot. It is a lot, but when you look at payments too, you get used. You get used to a lifestyle. You get used to that. And once I clear that up and realize I'm not gonna have that payment taken out every month, that's $240. I allowed free margin to come in. You know what I mean? You got to think of it in that way. That's why it's like debt it's a scary thing for sure. And I'm never gonna play with that again. That's the one main thing I'm gonna stay away from my entire life from this point on. No cap. But these are just some of the things I'm doing at 21. These days are clapping. We're excited. And I hope this helps you. You know what I mean? I hope we could change your mindset about money for sure. For sure. Yeah.